There are two houses here, one's mine, one's my neighbor's. We started putting sandbags up about 2 years ago to start when the water started to get up to ground level. And the water just keeps coming up every spring. We have to constantly put up sandbags. We put 400, 500, 600 up already just in the last 3 days. The water's come up another 4 inches. We have to keep all 7 of the pumps running. And they're not actually taking water that's coming over the sandbags, but water comes up from the ground because the water's 10 to 12 inches above the ground level behind the sandbags. So it's a constant struggle to make sure that everything stays sturdy. And now we've got to build it up even more because the advance of the boating season this summer will bring bigger waves and more stress on the sandbags. You can see they're already 4 feet tall.
What you're seeing with all of these pumps and sandbags and sand, wheelbarrows full of sand, this is what we do every single day. We start our day with checking pumps and making sure that they're not clogged in the buckets and making sure the sump pump runs. And I wake up almost every night, all night long, making sure I hear the sound of my sump pump running, because otherwise my basement would flood within hours. And as bad as it is here, you have probably seen around the lake, there are homes that have been totally lost. They have between 6 and 11, 12 inches of water running through them every single day. And their properties are gone. We have lost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trees that we'll never see in our lifetime again. That is out in the middle there. That was an island. And you couldn't, the trees were so dense you couldn't even see through there. And now I can see almost everybody.
Everyone is dealing with it in their own way. Some people just hide and try to let the rest of us fight it. You know, everyone is being impacted, believe me. I mean, it's a day-to-day new challenges coming all the time. If a road was raised 14 inches a year ago, it's got to be raised another 14 inches today. Jim Dahl, drain commissioner, his 2 pumps going into the property that they bought over on Delton Road. It's a retention pond. Now they switched from a smaller pump that was running all of last year and really did nothing. I mean, we've just kept rising. And the 2 pumps, he just got the second one going this week.
Are you living in a constant state of anxiety?
I used to. I now know the problems that are going to happen. So I now am in a constant process of trying to maintain and stay ahead of it. And yes, there are some days, like the other day when the road flooded and flooded the house again, I'm frustrated. But anxiety is 2 years, you better learn to live with anxiety.
3 years ago, this was a crisis. They called it a crisis, they called it an emergency, yet 3 years later, we have more water today than we had at our highest point ever. And last June 20th, I'll never forget it, the houses had water running through them. That's when the families had to move out. And it was a devastating day, and people were crying, and everybody was trying to do everything we could do to get things up in their furniture and their belongings. And this is worse than it was that day.
We wanted the Corps of Engineers out here years ago to help do something. This is not normal. People don't live like this. Who lives on a lake with sandbags for over 3 years?